Good evening, everyone. My name is TK Nakagaki, Reverend and Dr. TK Nakagaki. I'm the president of the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation, New York. I would like to welcome all of you. This is our 29th annual Interfaith Peace Gathering, and to commemorate Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bombing. And so you all have a program, the people who are here in this church, UN Church Center, we are doing it. But because of the corona conditions, we decided not to invite a lot of people, but just only limited people. So those people who are most of the time be active for all the peace movement. So that's why you get the invitation. And also we have leaders from the religious leaders and community leaders, as well as the leaders from Japan about the peace. And so that's what's happening here today. So what's going on with these lights? So just briefly, let me introduce Pete Rajin. So, okay, Pete.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor to have Peace Lights here. I'm one of the co-creators of Peace Lights along with Eileen Cohen. Peace Lights is a colorful piece of art, and the colors represent the different cultures in the world, and the motion represents how those cultures interact and work together to achieve harmony, peace, and good energy. You'll see the words Peace Lights come up in 55 different languages, and wherever possible, we chose the holiest form of the word light. And wherever Peace Lights plays around the world, people are encouraged to project their own thoughts and intents for peace into the lights and draw from the lights as well. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you so much. This is actually the Seven River photo crowd. And so they are sending us the picture of Hiroshima, what's happening. And also during those times, there's a music who we play by Rino Aise. For the song's name is Inochi, for life. you, Rino. And also thank you for the photograph from the Hiroshima Seven River Photograph Club. Now we would like to invite welcome from the Reverend Dionne. Sorry, maybe I should turn off this. Let me see, sorry. So I would like to thank again for let us use this space. Reverend Dionne is a minister or chaplain of the Church Center for the United Nations. Dionne, I hope you are here, and if you can give the greeting from you. Thank you.
Good evening. Namaste to all. I do hope that you are able to hear me. It is such a great blessing when we are able to use technology, and when it does not work, it is very, very frustrating. But we do commemorate you, Dr. TK, for always gathering us every year to remember and to pray and to hold space for this global commitment, along with our Japanese siblings and family across the globe, that we will commit that what happened in August of 1945 in Hiroshima and Nagasaki will never happen again. This 29th annual gathering to remember, we bring greetings here from the Church Center for the United Nations, where we hold space for the things that make for peace. We, as the NGO faith community, the non-governmental organizations, and on behalf of the United Methodist Women, United Women in Faith, and all of those who on a daily basis are working towards the things that make for peace, it is my honor to welcome you, all of the religious leaders, those community leaders, and especially the distinguished leadership that has come all the way from Japan to be here. And we especially want to honor and remember with gratitude and thanksgiving those survivors who are with us in this space. We understand and know that the nuclear proliferation treaty negotiations are happening all of this month, and we are coming together, not just to talk about peace, but we believe that it is possible. And it is possible because we are gathered together, not just to pray, not just to remember, but to commit that this will never happen again. This morning, when we gathered earlier this afternoon, our own Dr. Aza Karam, General Secretary for Religions for Peace International, made a statement, which was a powerful one. She reminded us and said this: the cost of war is endless, and the prospect of peace is all we have. And that is true. That is all we have. And to know that we are gathered here this day, and to remember, as you have gathered us, Dr. TK, every year, we will not forget, and we will commit together to remember those who have perished for the atomic bomb that has fallen, and for the nuclear weapons that threaten our lives, our very safety, and all of our children, and the lives and the future that we hold dear. We remember those who were maimed physically, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. And the war that originated in Europe that started then, that we commit today, remembering the war that is even happening now in Europe, ongoing. We remember all the places that are in conflict, and we repeat again the Buddhist statement that says, peace comes from within, and we do not seek it without. May we commit today, as you've gathered us in this space, regardless of whether or not our technology is working fine, but our hearts are working just fine. And our hearts have been committed to gather us in for the things that make for peace. So may peace be with all of you there. And may peace be in our hearts, in our homes, and in our world. And may we commit to ending all forms of violence, and especially the violence that has and can be because of nuclear weapons. May bless you all. God bless you. And may peace prevail on earth and always.
Yeah, thank you so much, Reverend Dionne, and I hope your message will be always appreciated, and I really appreciate the efforts to open up this temple, church today, because normally, this is the only time the evening open on this church. So they're supposed to close now, but then because this is such an important occasion, so they decide to let us use. So we really appreciate, and then she made a lot of efforts to convince people. So this is how important this gathering is going to be. So I thank you for that. Dionne, thank you so much. I hope you can hear the claps of the people. Okay. So now, well, this is my welcome, but then I just wanted to say, I already say many parts. Only thing that for me is this is the 29th year. We always have an interface to begin with. 1994, we start with the interface. So interface part is a very, very vital part. And then I would like to introduce the next parts of the program, basically. And so interfaith is one of the part of our program. So and then because peace cannot achieve just one religion, but all religions should be together, all the spirituality should get together for working for peace. So if you don't mind, can all of you to join us from the religious community? And so thank you. And then let me introduce so the part of the Hinduism, Guruji, Dileepji, founder and president of the World Yoga Community. And if the Judaism may not be able to make it because Friday also. And so we have next Buddhism for the Venerable Rifa, but then actually he have an emergency. So the actually current president of the Buddhist Council of New York, James Lynch, he will be leading the Buddhist prayer and some greeting as well. And then Christianity is Reverend Breyer, Reverend Dr. Crowley Breyer, Executive Director of the Interfaith Center of New York, and welcome. And so then followed by Islamic tradition, Imam Muhammad Shahidullah, and President of the Interfaith Center of USA. So with that order, please begin. Sorry.
समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 ओम पीस पीस पीस.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to actually do words of respect which is from my tradition. My name again is James Lynch. I'm not Venerable Rinpoche, who you see in your program, but I'm the current president of the Buddhist Council of New York, and the council is actually a co-sponsor of this event, and I'm also an officer of the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York, which is the official organizer of this event. And I do want to say that I'm also a Dharma teacher with the Japanese lay organization of Rishoku Sakai. And so I say to all of you, welcome to the 29th Annual Interfaith Peace Gathering commemorating the 77th anniversary of the atomic bombing on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I have some formal words. Indeed, today we've come together hopeful, but yet somber in the solidarity with all those who are still impacted by the attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And we're ever mindful of those who were attacked and lost their lives and those who were inevitably left behind. So we've come together today to say that we are mindfully present with all of us together, a part of the human family, whether we're Hindu, Jewish, Muslim, Christian, humanist, or Buddhist, that we realize this evening that we are our brother's keeper, that we're caused to live not by our own will alone, but by the grace of divine providence, and say that we shall remember the Buddha's sacred words that we are not born as saints, we become saints by our deeds. I would humbly suggest to all of you that Venerable Nakagaki and the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation, and all the sponsors, and by each and every one of you, by your presence here today, is taking a firm stance for peace against nuclear weapons, and that by your deeds, you are taking saintly acts and sacred deeds. Indeed, we can rest assured that our actions today are the continuing of a divine compassionate plan, which truly understands that we cannot move faster than the speed of trust. I wanted to quote from a 19th century Buddhist scholar named Nakamura, who noted, merely knowing religious teachings mean nothing. Those teachings must be embodied somewhere in the actions taken by our physical bodies. So today, we use our bodies, even while we're sitting, to mindfully remember those who lost their lives at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and to know they are not forgotten, and that today is a sacred day, with a renewed sense of hope for the possibilities of better days ahead. Finally, I want to give you some final words of the Buddha as a compass to guide our steps forward. To quote, "We must make ourselves the light and the truth the light, and we must be that light for others." So let us pray that the great life force in and through the universe, whom we devoutly revere and often call by different names, the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, saints of all faiths, and countless heavenly beings who are omnipresent in the 10 directions, will watch over our peaceful steps today in whatever way they can, and extend their hands of compassion and guidance and beckon forth peace here in New York City, our country, to the people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and our world. We also pray that all living beings will find peace. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, August the 5th, 2022, James A. Jr., current president of the Buddhist Council of New York. I have sincerely offered these words of respect. Thank you.
Greetings to you. My name is the Reverend Chloe Breyer. I bring greetings from the Interfaith Center of New York that works with faith groups all around the city, and also St. Philip's Episcopal Church. And it's good to be with you on this sobering occasion, and many thanks to TK Nakagaki and everyone who made it happen. Sometimes there are moments in this world when we as peacemakers feel overwhelmed. Gun violence, wars, disease, and the climate crisis. At times like this, we take inspiration from those who have gone before. And I think tonight of St. Francis of Assisi, born into the 12th century, a time also of plagues and wars, of disease and crusades. St. Francis dedicated his life to the teachings of Jesus, the peacemaker, particularly his care for the poor and the vulnerable. St. Francis wrote a prayer, and he wrote it at the end of his life, the one I'm about to read, at a time when he himself personally faced many challenges. Francis had gone to Egypt seeking to bring peace and an end to the Fourth Crusade, but he had not succeeded in converting the Sultan to Christianity, which was the way he thought to do it, and even more disturbingly had seen atrocities committed by the so-called Christian troops, so many more so than the Muslim forces they were fighting. He returned to Europe discouraged and with his own illness. When he wrote these words, he was blind. Most high, all-knowing, all-great God, to you all praise and honor and every blessing. To you alone, Most High, do these belong, and no man is worthy to pronounce your name. Praise to you, my Lord, and to all your creatures, especially brother Sun, who illuminates the day for us. He is beautiful and radiant and has great splendor. From you, O Lord, Most High, does he bring meaning. Praise to you, my Lord, for Sister Moon and for the stars in heaven. You have formed them, shining and precious and fair. Praise to you, my Lord, for Brother Wind, for air and clouds, clear sky, and every sort of weather, by which you sustain your creatures. Praise to you, my Lord, for Sister Water. She is useful and humble, precious and pure. Praise to you, my Lord, for Brother Fire. Through him you enlighten the night, and he is fair and vital and strong. Praise to you, my Lord, for our sister, Mother Earth, who nourishes and sustains us all and brings forth diverse fruits and colored flowers and herbs. Praise to you, my Lord, for those who grant pardon for love of you and who bear infirmity and tribulation. Blessed be those who live in peace. For you, Most High, will they be crowned.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you. First, I want to say thank you, Dr. TK Nakagaki, to invite and giving chance to co-sponsoring this event like Interfaith Center of USA. This is Imam Muhammad Shahidullah. On behalf of Interfaith Center of USA, I want to pray for all survivors, and we already in behind we saw the no more, the Hiroshima, no more Nagasaki. Just we need more peace. Islam means, in Arabic word, means peace. As a Muslim, we believe we are under one God, and we know the Quran already described the why God created us, what is the purpose. This is not purpose something like the nuclear bombing or something like that. That's why our beloved Prophet mentioned also in the narrated in the Hadith, and the Allah also mentioned in the Quran, Allahumma anta salam, aminka salam, tabarakta jal jalali wal ikram. O Allah, you are the peace, and from you is peace. Blessed are you, O majestic, O generous. Thank you so much. You all interfaith leader. Thank you, Dr. Nakagaki, and 29th Interfaith Peace Gathering. We are here to commemorate Hiroshima and Nagasaki Atomic Bombing Day. Thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, all the faith leaders. And so we're very grateful for your words, and so I thank you so much. So this time we'll have a music piece So there's a light there, so which means she'll be singing. Her name is Manami Hattori, a soprano singer, and also there will be dancer who will be joining with her music, Nahoko Sugiyama. So the song is Amazing Grace. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And this time, I will share the art performance by the Ring the Peace Bell of the United Nations, actually, by Shingo Nakamura, the Kabuki artist. And this time also, I have to share with my thing, so just bear with me. And there's a bell in the United Nations right across the street. And so this is about that particular bell. And so that bell itself is donated by Nakagawa, the name. So this video will have the parts of that too. So if you know the story, then you will probably enjoy that more. But anyway, let me. Oops. Yeah, thank you. I hope you enjoy it. So this is what do you call it? Something. Sorry. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the Kabuki art, and so it is about the United Nations. I hope you get the message, and so this time I would like to. We still have a little couple more minutes, so we would like to continue with the haiku by students, and then Mr. Kazuo Tsuda, the teacher at the United Nations International School.
Thank you very much, for inviting me and our works. Our works is this is a student haiku contest. We have from the 2006 to present, and I want to introduce some of the student haiku. And this haiku is not only Japanese. We have the Japanese and the French and the Spanish and English. This is we had already professional haiku poets from the each languages. Then also sometimes we have Arabic section and also Italian section and German section. We have a couple of languages. That is this year we try to open for not student, probably one of the student, college student, and also possibilities. We are invited United Nations, United Nations, many members of the United Nations, because everybody is probably very tired for the world problem, and also NPT actions and many things. But anyhow, I introduce one of the student haiku. Jikan muda, tomare sensou, tada nakama. Waste of the time, stop the war, we are just companions. I want to repeat again. Jikan muda, tomare sensou, tada nakama. Waste of the time, stop the war, we are just companions. The poet insists that current war should be stopped as soon as possible, and that the people of the world are just friends. Does not solve any underlying problems. It roots a lot of the variable things and just of a waste of the time. If you recognize diversity with a tolerant mind, your opponent will be able to join you. The author's keen awareness of the international issues is included in the concise expressions. And one more I want to introduce. This is other SDG haiku. ゴミ路肩気づかない私問いただす I ask myself why I didn't notice the trash on the shoulder. ゴミ路肩気づかない私問いただす I ask myself why I didn't notice the trash on the shoulder. Many people overlook the garbage on the shoulder of the road, or does not even think about it. The writer noticed of having this attitude in himself or herself and reflected it critically. This poem includes a strong message that each of us should pay more attention to various things, a kind of the environment pollution in our daily lives. Just I introduced only two haiku poem, but thank you very much for inviting our works and us. Then probably I'll ask you join our haiku movement. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。ちょっと時間の方が7時15分が近づいてきましたので、ちょっとすみませんが、今日はまず長崎市長の田上富久様に1打目、そして、次に、ミスターTakashi小泉様の方、広島平和文化センターの、理事長様、そして最後、3人目に、木戸末一様、被団協の、ですね、事務局長様、すみませんが、ご3人前の方にお願いいたします。7:15 is the time the first atomic bomb was dropped to the Hiroshima, and so this is historical things happened 1945. So now it's 7:15. So よろしくお願いいたします。So first of all, Mayor Taue. Thank you very much, and so I hope you have a time to show your respect. And now, because of the, we started a little late, we have a little change of the time. And next speaker will be Mayor Taue from Nagasaki. And then will be followed by two other guests that we're going to have. So first of all, Mr. Taue is, of course, probably we don't have any need to explain who he is. I have really good respect to him, and he has been always a wonderful speech and wonderful leadership of the piece. So we're very fortunate to have Mr. Mayor of Nagasaki here with us. And but before that, I just wanted to mention also from the mayor's office, New York mayor's office. I mean, we do supposed to possibly get the Mayor Eric Adams. However, because his schedule has been changed, and so I'd like to at least mention that, just if you don't mind, are you able to stand up and like you to recognize he's the Reverend Fernando Cabrera. I hope that pronounced okay. So he's the senior advisor of the Eric Mayor Adams. So thank you very much for joining on behalf. And then I hope you will report him back, how important things you're missing. Hope next time, they will be joining us. Okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate your presence. よろしくお願いします。
皆さんこんばんは。私は英語が得意ではないので、日本語で話をさせていただきます。
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I am Tomihisa Taue, Mayor of Nagasaki. There will be an interpretation during my speech.
まず、この平和の集会を広島、長崎から見ると、地球の裏側の町ニューヨークで、こうして開催いただいている中垣健一さんはじめ、ご協力いただいたすべての皆様に感謝を申し上げたいと思います。
First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to Reverend Nakagaki and all of those involved in organizing this event, which is held from the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki perspective.
そして、お集まりいただいた皆様に心から感謝申し上げたいと思います。
And I would also like to thank everyone attending here tonight.
この集会が毎年開かれていることは、私も以前から知っていました、存じ上げていました。
I was aware of this event held every year in New York.
でもこの集会に私が長崎市長として出席することを想像したことはありませんでした。
But I never imagined I would be attending here in New York myself.
というのは私はこの時間は広島にいるからです。
That is because as mayor of Nagasaki, every year I am in Hiroshima on August 6th.
今日こうしてここに立っていることが奇跡のような気持ちがしています。
It feels like a miracle that I am here right now.
さて、私が長崎市長としてあるいは長崎市民として平和の活動をしていく中でいつもジレンマに感じていたことが一つあります。
Near Nagasaki and citizens of Nagasaki, there is a thing that I feel.
今や長崎の人たちが核兵器の問題について、訴えれば訴えるほどそれは広島と長崎の過去の話のように思われてしまうことです。
The more and more people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki try to convey the issue of nuclear weapons, people tend to think that this is a past incident and does not concern them.
被爆者の人たち、そして広島、長崎の市民はこの問題が二度と起きないように世界中の誰にも このことを経験することがないようにと話し続け、伝え続けてきました。
The reason why the Hibakusha, the Tani bomb survivors and citizens of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are conveying this important message is because they do not want anyone else in the world to go through the same suffering.
でもその時にこの核兵器の問題の当事者が広島、長崎だと、広島、長崎が動かすものだというふうに思われてしまうところがあるような気がしていました。でも被爆者の人たちが訴えてきたのは、世界中の皆さんが当事者だと、核兵器の問題の当事者だということを一生懸命警告を発し続けてきたということなのです。
People, I believe that they tend to think that this is an issue only that concerns the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. However, the reason why the Hibakusha have been continuously appealing for the abolition of nuclear weapons is that this is a global issue that concerns everyone living on this planet.
でもその私が感じたジレンマに答えをくれた人たちがいました。
But there were those who gave me answer to this problem.
それは広島、長崎以外の人たちです。
They were those who were living outside Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
広島や長崎ではない場所に住んでいる人たちが広島、長崎と同じようなメッセージを、同じメッセージを発信してくれるときに、その周囲にいた人たちがこれが広島、長崎の問題ではなくて私たち自身の問題なのだということに気づいてくれるのを感じてきました。
Those who were living in places besides Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and they are conveying the same messages as the atomic bomb cities, and this has made those people aware that this is an issue that concerns everyone.
今日もこうしてニューヨークで皆さんと一緒に平和の集会に参加する。
And this peace event here in Nagasaki, here in Europe, it makes me aware of this.
そして、今こうして、広島の8時15分に、皆さんと一緒に、広島と長崎の過去に思いを馳せ、そして、世界中の人たちの今と未来のために平和を祈れることを大変嬉しく思います。
Here in New York, praying at the time when the atomic bomb was dropped in Hiroshima, we recall the past incidents in Hiroshima and Nagasaki and consider the future of the present, which is the present and future of our world.
今、国連の中では核兵器の問題について、議論がされています。
At the United Nations, the issue of nuclear weapons is currently discussed.
非常に難しい状況の中の会議になっています。
And it is during a difficult time.
でも皆さんと共に、広島、長崎の被爆者の人たちが訴え続けてきた、平和が訪れる日を、そして核兵器のない日が訪れる日を信じて、諦めずに、歩き続けたいと思います。
But I'm determined to work together with all of you to realize a world without nuclear weapons and a peaceful world, and to continue to convey the messages of the Hibakusha's peace.
今日皆さんと直接お会いして、オンラインではなく、この場で、お礼を申し上げることができることを大変幸せなことだというふうに感じます。
It is fortunate that I am here attending to able to express my gratitude in person.
皆さんと共に核兵器のない世界が実現することを、そして世界に平和が訪れることを願いながら、私のお礼のご挨拶にさせていただきたいと思います。
I would like to close my greetings by thanking you and wishing that we can realize a world without nuclear weapons and a peaceful world.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much.
Next speaker, thank you very much. And next speaker we have is the Mr. Takashi Koizumi. He's a chairperson of the Hiroshima Peace Culture Foundation. So thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Let me start by reiterating my profound respect and heartfelt gratitude to President Kenjitsu Nakagaki of Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation in New York, the organizer of this event. As a Hiroshima Peace Ambassador, President Nakagaki conducts various peace events that bring New York and atomic bomb cities together. In Hiroshima, we will soon face A15, but already passed this time. On August 6th, for the 77th time since the atomic bombing. Despite the unbearable sufferings wrought by bombings, especially from the lifelong harmful effect of radiation, the Hibakusha continue to make their appeal to the world that no one else should suffer as we have. Again, no one else should suffer as we have, through their testimonies. I serve as a Secretary General of the Mayors of Peace, an organization that has inherited the peace-seeking spirit of the Hibakusha. We work hard to promote culture of peace in close collaboration with 8,200 member cities in 166 countries and regions all around the globe, along with the UN, NGOs, and diverse range of civil society partners. Mayors for Peace seeks to cultivate peace consciousness among citizens and have each and every one of them consider peace and take action for peace in their daily lives. The road ahead toward the abolition of nuclear weapons will not be smooth, yet I am convinced that if more and more people and to desire peace and take action for the elimination of nuclear weapons, it will be the drive needed to change the world. In closing, I extend my best wishes for the further success of the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York in the year to come, and the continued good health and prosperity of all in attendance, including President Nakagaki. Thank you very much.
From Nihon Hidankyo, Mr. Sueichi Kido is so let me also translate this one.
皆さんこんばんは。
Good evening, everyone.
今年の2月24日、衝撃的な出来事が起こりました。
February 24 this year, exciting thing happened.
ロシアのプーチン大統領がウクライナにかけたことです。
Sorry, it's not the exciting thing, but I mean, it's just tremendous big things happened, which is Russia invading to the Ukraine. I'm sorry. Thank you.
大変な驚きでした。
I was really surprised.
恐怖に体が震えました。
I feel fear from that.
広島長崎が再現されるのではないか。
I feel like that Hiroshima Nagasaki become the real again.
それは人類の滅亡につながるのではないか。
It will lead to the destruction of the human community.
それから人類を守るためにウィーンでの第1回核兵器禁止条約第1回締約国会議に行ってまいりました。
And then also I attended the first gathering of the prohibition of nuclear weapons at the Vienna.
そしてまた今 NPT 再検討会議に参りました。
Now, today, I'm here to attend the NPT review conference happening at the United Nations.
いろんなこと、多くのことを考えさせられてきました。
So many things I have to think to myself.
ただ一つだけ今日はここで述べさせていただきます。
One thing I would like to share with you today is this.
それは原爆、核兵器はどのようにして人間の命を奪ってきたかということです。
That's how this nuclear weapons take the human life.
あの日、命を奪われた人は自分がなぜ死ぬのか知らないままに奪われました。
The day that the people who lost their lives by the atomic bomb in 1945 was they didn't expect anything, and then all of a sudden the life was just taken away.
それは私の実感です。
This is my real feeling.
私は5歳の時、2kmの路上でピカッと光を浴びました。
I was 5 years old when I experienced the lights of the atomic bomb.
その時、もし死んでいたら、自分がなぜ死ぬのか全くわからないまま。
If I die at that time, I probably, don't remember what happened and why I passed away.
また、多くの死者が家族に看取られて亡くなった人はわずか 4% だと言われています。
Only 4% of all the population which was killed by the atomic bomb and are actually recognized and then having even like a funeral type of service.
どこで死んだのか
Where do they pass away?
わかりません。
We don't know.
また、どこに遺骨があるのか見つかりません。
Where is their the bodies? We don't know where.
それは、その人が生きていたすべてが奪われてしまったということではないでしょうか。
That means everything about their life, who lost their life, is instantly taken away.
今ここに宗教家の皆さんがお集まりになっていますけれども、そのような死がこれまでにあったでしょうか。
Today there are many religious leaders gathered. I wonder, is there any death like that in our history? That all of a sudden, just one moment, the life was taken. This many.
原爆、核兵器は人間が生きた証をすべて奪い去ってしまいます。
The nuclear weapons really steal all of the mark that we leave, where we have as we live our life, their life.
人間が人間らしく生き、そして人間として死ぬということを実現するのは核兵器をなくし戦争をなくす以外にありません。
So the most important thing is to have to really stop the nuclear weapons and eliminate all the nuclear weapons and wars, and so that's the only way that all those lives will be respected, and also how I guess they can really understand the meaning of life.
その願いを込めて皆様に私たちの気持ちをお送りしますので受け取ってください。これは禁止条約の何を禁止しているかを 書いたしおりです。
This is a gift from us to you, all of you here today. And this is talking about the principle of the prohibition of nuclear weapons.
でこれは日本被団協から皆さんへの訴えです。
This is an appeal from the Nippon Hidankyo. So I hope you can read this.
そしてこれは私の娘が平和の願い込めて作ったものです。どうぞお受け取りくださってお持ち帰りください。
His daughter made something special for you too. So maybe you can enjoy this gift that we make for you and thinking of the peace. So thank you so much.
どうもありがとうございました。
Appreciate it. This is important of the day for Hiroshima, and then so normally we have the statement peace declaration, but the mayor of Hiroshima. So that's already always read by the Hiroshima Kai of New York. And I introduce Mr. Furumoto. Could you come here? And Mr. Park Furumoto, he has been the honorable chair of the New York Hiroshima Kai, and he will be reading the mayor of Hiroshima, Mr. Matsui's Mayor Matsui's message. Thank you.
Good evening. As Reverend Nakagaki said, we have been reading Peace Declaration for past 28 years. This is our 29th year. Peace Declaration, August 6, 2022. I adore my mother. She raised me with such a kindness and care. The woman speaking to us 16 when she left home, carrying the lunch her mother had lovingly prepared. She never imagined it would be their final parting. Summer, 77 years ago. That morning, without warning, the first nuclear weapon was dropped and detonated over humanity. Standing near Hiroshima Station, the girl saw a terrifying flash. Then came a thunderous roar, striking from behind. The blast blew her through the air and knocked her unconscious. When she came to, she wandered through the smoldering city, searching for her mother. She saw a horrifying number of blackened bodies. One charred corpse still stood, clinging to the neck of a cow. Bodies floating in the river drifted up and down with the tide. She still remembers the morning when every day life vanished violently into scenes from hell. In invading Ukraine, the Russian leader, elected to protect the lives and property of his people, is using them as an instrument of war, stealing the lives and livelihood of innocent civilians in another country. Around the world, notion that peace depends on nuclear deterrence gains momentum. These errors betray humanity's determination, born of our experience of war, to achieve a peaceful world free from nuclear weapons. To accept the status quo and abandon the ideal of peace maintained without military force is to the very survival of the human race. We must stop repeating these mistakes. Above all, entrusting a nuclear button to any world leader is to sanction continued nuclear threat, to render all nuclear buttons meaningless. Must we keep tolerating self-centeredness that threaten others, even to the point of denying their existence? We should take to heart the words of Leo Tolstoy, the renowned Russian author of War and Peace, who advised, never build your happiness on the misfortune of others, for only in their happiness can you find your own? Earlier this year, the 5 nuclear weapons states issued a joint statement. Nuclear war cannot be won, must never be fought. They further declare their intent to remain committed to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty obligations. Having issued such a statement, why do they attempt to fulfill their promises? Why do some even hint at using nuclear weapons? The nuclear powers must act now to build bridges of trust among nations rather than treating a world without nuclear weapons like a distant dream. They should be taking concrete steps toward its realization. I call on the leaders of nuclear weapons states using nuclear weapons and strengthen their will to take these steps. I want them to understand the only sure way to protect the lives and property of their people is to eliminate nuclear weapons. I fervently hope the leaders who attend the G7 summit in Hiroshima next year will reach this conclusion. With the Hibakusha's will to peace at our core and inheriting the never give up spirit of Hibakusha leader Tsuboi Sunao, who dedicated his life to the cause, Hiroshima will continue striving toward nuclear weapon abolition, however arduous the path. The average age of Hibakusha now exceeds 84, and their lives are still impaired by radiation's adverse effect on their minds and bodies. Thus, I further demand that the Japanese government empathize with the suffering to better offer them enhanced support measures. Today, at this peace memorial ceremony commemorating 77 years since the bombing, we offer heartfelt condolences to the soul of atomic bomb victims. Together with Nagasaki and like-minded people around the world, we pledge to do everything in our power to abolish nuclear weapons and to light the way toward lasting world peace. Matsui Kazumi, Mayor, the city of Hiroshima. Thank you. Now, on behalf of Hiroshima Kai of New York, I'd like to say a few words. Since 1994, we have been advocating non-proliferation of nuclear weapons and propagating peace around the world. We have been doing this by moving one pebble at a time here in New York City. I firmly believe that this one pebble that we move throughout the world will someday realize peace on this earth without the nuclear weapons. Seeing the aftermath of atomic bomb and living in Hiroshima from January 1946 to May 1956, and facing the actual combat war in Vietnam from February to 1970 to 1971, and serving this country, I understand the cruelty of war and how priceless the peace is. Like the Hibakusha, we will continue to propagate peace and seek non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. It is especially important to commemorate this day, August 6th in Hiroshima, as a symbol of world peace. We hope and pray that both Ukraine and Russia is watching us so that the peace settlement can be achieved without further devastation. We'd like to thank Reverend Nakagaki and his Heiwa Foundation, an interfaith religious group who had tirelessly held this event since 1994 to commemorate Hiroshima Nagasaki Peace Memorial, and the participants who had gathered tonight to commemorate this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Furumoto-san. So we have been working together for 29 years. This is the first year actually his wife couldn't make it together. So he's one of the person every year he just he's every year joining us. And then with his wife, but then now his wife has to take care of the elderly, her mother, so she couldn't make it today. But so we really appreciate his support, and particularly for me, it's a great support for his continuous, without his continuous support, it's very difficult for me to, continue too. So I thank you. So this time also we have a little. I'm hoping that try to connect to the Shinji Harada-san next, but then before that, I want to have Koji Sato-san from the Japanese American Association give the brief speech, and so that after him immediately, Shinji Harada-san will join us from the. I'm hoping, so I hope he's still there. Okay, thank you. So.
Thank you, Reverend Nakagaki. I'm going to try to keep my speech short because it's been a long evening. Good evening, my name is Koji Sato. I'm president of the Japanese American Association of New York. I'm very happy to be here tonight to not celebrate, but to remember what happened back 77 years ago. This year marks the 77th year after the atomic bombs were dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I'm sure that people of Hiroshima and Nagasaki 77 years ago would have never imagined what would happen on that day, on August 6th in Hiroshima and August 9th in Nagasaki. I pray to all the lives that were lost on those days and how the lives of those that survived those days have been changed forever due to the effects of radiation. August 6th and August 9th, 1945 will also forever affect the lives of the generations of the descendants of all the survivors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. As a father and now a grandfather, it's my hope that my children and my grandchildren will never experience a world where nuclear weapons will be used again. The world must reflect on the devastating effects of nuclear weapons and that it can never destroy the lives of so many people again. I join with all the other speakers to wish peace on earth. It is important that we all work together in order to prevent wars. War is extremely destructive to the lives of so many people. It is my hope that we all learn from the devastation of World War I and World War II in order that there's never a World War III. With the recent conflict in Ukraine and with the potential conflict between China and Taiwan, it is hoped that it would never escalate to the use of nuclear weapons. With the advancement of weapons, the next World War could certainly lead to the use of nuclear weapons. It's hoped that the world leaders understand the devastation that the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki caused and that it is never repeated again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And now I would like to invite, let me find him where he is. Okay. So this is I know, you probably know the peace activities all about the patience. And we need to be patient. Whatever happens, we just continue. So this is the same way the program will continue, whatever happens. And then this time, at least I see that Shinji-san here, so he will be able to join us. And okay. Is he there? Oh, okay. So, Shinji Harada. So, Harada-san, can you hear me? If you can speak, please say hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for participating in this event. Good evening, friends, everyone.
じゃあ、すみません。So let me introduce who's the Shinji Harada. Sorry.
Okay.
So he has, he's the music he's a, and then they also artist, and also he's a Hiroshima Peace Cultural Ambassador. So also he will be having the concert on evening of August 6th in Hiroshima, the Peace Park. And so he can probably introduce that as well. He's a musician basically, and then his music is always dedicated to the peace. So, and then we have been working with him actually. He used to come here too. There's a picture of this temple. He's playing the piano, this one. And so.
I remember that.
Oh, great. So maybe if you can start your message, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay. After World War II, we humans pledged never to start another war of indiscriminate killing, but we still can't keep our pledge without extreme violence, nuclear weapons. After overcoming so much suffering, throwing away resentment, and drying our tears, we humans should no longer live in the world with extremely primitive, barbaric violence. We are at the stage where we can be reborn into a higher level spirituality of kindness energy, where we can respect and help each other. Isn't it time? The spirituality of mankind that never grows. It's coming to an important timing when you have to graduate from that state. For our children and grandchildren, we must correctly teach and educate them about the spirituality of kindness, which is truly important. That is our urgent need. And without doubt, we know the devastation before and after the war from our parents, have a duty to guide the younger generation. There's an urgent need to reform the United Nations, which connects the world, and create an organization full of kindness that truly has the power to build world peace. Let's all take kindness actions. Thank you. Please enjoy my song, which is called Hiroshima, the Place to Start. Hiroshima, kala hajimeyo. Thank you, all. 1, 2, 3, come on. Hiroshima, kala hajimeyo. I guess it's the ego of Hiroshima is the place to start. Come on. Hiroshima is the place to start. I soon reach a wall. So to keep me warm. Hey, you know, 素晴らしさを感じている。そう世界中の誰もがこのひとときを待っている。きっと行こう。広島から始めよう。愛し合える関係。広島から始めよう。平和な世界へ。From sorrow,
finding out the truth, grace be surrounding you. Oh, everybody in the world is just wishing for this peaceful moment to be given birth. Yeah, come on. Hiroshima is the place to start, hand in hand across the nations. Hiroshima is the place to start. May peace through the land and every ocean. Hiroshima, Hachimyo. Okay, I'm talking over there. Everybody, Hiroshima, Hachimyo. Yeah, yeah. Okay, really cool. Hiroshima is the place to start. Take a long love and devotion. Hiroshima is the place to start. May peace rule the land and every ocean. Brand new start from Hiroshima and New York, any place in the world. Hiroshima.
Yes, 原田真二さんでした。どうもありがとうございました。明日の
Thank you. ありがとうございました。
So again, yeah, if you can wake up early in the morning, 6 o'clock, you can join him tomorrow morning.
Please join us.
And I'll be joining him on 6 o'clock tomorrow. So yeah, please do the same way. Yeah, so he's also from the Hiroshima originally, so he has been always important message for Hiroshima. And then, of course, this song is Nagasaki is a place to start too. So I would like to mention, you always said that. そうですね。はい、じゃあ、ありがとうございました。すみません。
Taueさん、ありがとうございました。Thank you very much for sending me a great message, Mr. Taue.
いや、今いらっしゃいますので、ここ。
あ、そうですか。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。はい。それじゃあ失礼します。
失礼します。
Okay. Now I have a little. So next we have Dr. Watanabe is coming from the what do you call it? The Tokyo University, and he's actually the organizer of another exhibition towards the future, and using the modern technology and sorry. So he's again professor at the University of Tokyo, and introducing the peace project that he has, and he's actually very interesting. If you have time, he has 2 days, offering at 21st floor of Nippon Club from 10 to 4 tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, 10 to 5. So, okay, let me give him co-host so he can share.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And congratulations to Dr. TK and everyone for organizing this event. Very good. So, especially I'm a big fan of Shinji-san, so I'm very pleased for hearing his song. And the peace memorial ceremony was successfully held in Hiroshima, Japan, in just 40 minutes ago. I watched in TV. I am Professor Hidenori Watanabe of the University of Tokyo. So, and I will share our project. Okay, so we are pleased to present an exhibition at the University of Tokyo's New York office. Uses state-of-the-art technology to visualize and document war, including a digital archive of war damage in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and Ukraine. The show's theme is to create a convergence in New York, the site of the NPT Review Conference. For example, this is a Hiroshima archive, which maps the testimonies of Hibakusha in Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, 77 years ago today, on digital Earth, so that the fact of history can be seen in 3 dimensions. On the other hand, this is the Nagasaki archive. The atomic bomb was dropped on August 9, 1945, 3 days after Hiroshima. Read the testimonies of many atomic bomb survivors. This project was initiated by the grandchildren of Nagasaki Hibakusha. In addition, inhumane wars of aggression is currently underway in Ukraine. A 3D archive created by Ukrainian students will also be on display. These will be handed down to future generations as evidence of war damage in the 21st century. These archives will be displayed on a very large screen at the venue. You will feel close to the war damage. There will also be an exhibit of virtual reality system and colorized photographs of mushroom cloud. And the event will be run by the students of my laboratory, the future generation. And we will also present the activities of NPOs in the United States. Through this exhibit, I hope that peace activities in the United States, Japan, and also around the world will create a convergence. We already have the technology to connect the world and make peaceful world. And tomorrow morning, we are pleased to invite Mr. Kido, Ms. Wada, and Mr. Hamasumi to give the atomic bomb lectures. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Students will be handing out flyers background of my my screen, so please take a look at them. We look forward to seeing you at the event. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Mr. TK.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. I mean, actually, the session that you're going to have. So today, this time, we will have actually the tour. This is another part of the things that next program is a virtual tour to Hiroshima Peace Museum. How many of you have been to the Peace Museum, Hiroshima? How many of you never been to the Hiroshima yet? Oh, okay. You're planning to go, right? Today, some portion of it you can see. And James Lynch, he's the president of the Buddhist Council. He'll be the one of the person who's going to go to the tour today. Lucky person, yeah. But anyway, but at the same time, it's a very important part of it. And so the tour guide is the Aku Nishimae-san. He's the founder of the One Future. And so I will give him from here, and then James, you can come here, I think. And then, so let me give you the co-host. So take over from here, Mr. Nishimai. Thank you.
Hi, TK. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us. And thank you for Watanabe-san, Professor Watanabe, for having us as part of the University of Tokyo's Convergence of Peace Activities show in New York City, which we'll be presenting tomorrow and the day after. But today, for this occasion, this is wonderful, wonderful gathering of people from Hiroshima and Nagasaki from around the world, especially with religious interfaith leaders. So I'm honored to be here and presenting this virtual museum experience, which is created by Akira Fujimoto and Canon Hersey. and they are artists, and we've worked with Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum, and they allow us to scan the entire museum. So we created this experience. The experience is called Future Memory. We're wishing the people who experience this to create future memory. That the memory is not just somebody else's, it's yours to create. And this memory from Hiroshima and Nagasaki, especially to be shared in a new way. So wishing with this technology, 3D technology, we'd like to have people to experience it and have your own memory being created today. So James, thank you so very much for participating. How are you?
Very well, thank you. It's good to see you again.
Wonderful. So let's get right down to it. I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see it and so that everyone can see it. I think this is it. Let me see. Can you see the whole screen?
Yes.
Yep, that's our website, Future Memory. It's at the onefuture.com website, and we have a Future Memory project happening. Part of that is this no-name object, so that you can see a selected object on display, and you can see it as if you are seeing it on 3D. So it's not the highest quality here, but you can see it on the screen so that you can see the actual object in such a way that you can really almost touch it. It's a 3D presentation of the atomic bombed object. And with this, another page is this 3D portrait of a museum. This is the experience we'd like to tour with James. So James, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Wonderful. So let's take a video tour first, or maybe we should walk together. So this is the entrance, and the people who might have been there knows this long passage. This is a long passage, and towards the entrance of the exhibit. And you see the girl's portrait, and each photo, each object, there are hundreds of objects in display. Each one has story. So I spent 6 hours, first time I've been to this exhibit. For example, this is a famous photo. Maybe James-san, maybe you have seen this photo. This is one of the few photos that's taken on that day.
Yes, a little bit. You showed me.
That's right. And this is, for example, this is Tsuboi-san, who just passed away last year. Matsui-san mentioned Tsuboi-san's unrelenting service to Hibakusha community. He was in this photo, he was injured, he almost died, but he survived. He continued his journey as Hibakusha survivors leaders. And this is the passage you can see. Photos into the main room. So it's designed very well so that it's as if you went through the mushroom crowds, which was their experience, which was the survivor's experience. And the first passage is showing the students their names, their faces. As Kido-san was saying, many of the people who got bombed, they were stripped away of their names, face, where they are from, who they are. That's the inhumane aspect atomic bomb. So Hiroshima Memorial Museum did a wonderful job of putting names, putting faces, and putting stories. This was a person who lived this life. So this is a wonderful exhibit. Today we only have 10 minutes, so we're not going to go into this detail, but I would love to encourage everyone to go to onefuture.jp. You can log in from anywhere, anytime, from anywhere around the world. Jameson, can you see this?
Yes, I can.
What do you think these are?
I guess those are the clothes and items that remained.
Yep. It's I think it's designed. The exhibit itself is designed in such a way that people can imagine, and these clothes are one of the most powerful imagination enhancing place because you can almost see people in it, people who died, and there are tens of thousands of these clothes left behind. This is a passage. You can see the damages to the buildings, massive damage to the walls. Some of the walls are melted, unlike any other bombing. Atomic bomb with such heat bent the steel structure. You can see the massive effect of atomic bombing. There are lots of graphic photos and paintings. So people who are there for the first time will be shocked. So use your discretion, especially with children. Use your discretion. But I'd like to show especially this part. Jameson, do you know what this is?
Yeah, well, the shadow.
Yeah, shadow people. I was 15-year-old when I saw this for the first time at the museum. 修学旅行, the school trip, takes 15-year-olds. Most of the 15-year-olds in Japan go to Hiroshima and Nagasaki and experience the exhibit. And this, still to this day, it really stuck in my mind. This is actually a shadow right here. This is the actual steps of Sumitomo Bank, which was bombed, now abolished, but they kept these steps because there is shadow of people imprinted, burnt in to this. So this was something, this tells many stories. You know, I don't know who was sitting or standing, probably sitting on the steps, but this person most certainly died almost instantaneously, probably almost with heat and with wind, massive wind, with more than Mach level speed of wind. Probably this person is just vanished, erased from Earth, but he left, or she left, shadow behind. So when I saw this when I was 15, I was like shocked, and I couldn't do anything about it. I didn't want to remember, but this was something I always remember. So Jameson, what do you think?
Well, what you said to me, you know, it's not just the people there, but all the people who are forgotten, the poor, the hungry, people who were exploited by exploitive processes that leads to war and death.
Yep.
That leads to shadow people. I thought about.
Yes. I think that's the, as Kido-san and many Hibakusha survivors saying, that's the most inhumane part of the nuclear weapons, that they strip away their names, they strip away their faces, they strip away where they are, where they're from, what their dreams are. They just erased people. That's ultimate insult to humanity, and that's that happened. And we don't know. Many people don't know who they are, and many people, relatives, families, and they don't know where they went. So that's the most inhumane part of usage of nuclear weapons. Every war is bad, every murder is bad, but this is a massive murder, intolerable. well, we have limited time, so I want to spend hours with you, James-san. Maybe next time. But this one, I want to show this to you, especially with you.
Yeah, the Buddhist.
It's a little Buddha. I want to be in the middle of it. So when I went there, I prayed. You know, it's just I couldn't do anything but just I don't know the feeling, you know, because this temple is destroyed. You know, everybody was killed in that temple, but this remained in the rubble. They dug it out and they kept it, and they eventually gave it to the museum. So museum took a very good care of it. They kind of know which temple, but because it was so blown away, they can't specify. They don't know the people, what happened to the people. But this Buddha is, to me, it keeps telling us story. Keeps telling us what do we pray for. Give me deep thoughts.
I remember when we first saw this the other day, you showed it to me, I thought of, you know, the Buddhist Council. I won't be president, but maybe the Buddhist Council could make a special trip to prayers there. The whole idea for Buddhism is equality and the dignity of each. It's very important.
Yes. So, yeah, I think, when I'm talking to Watanabe-san and other educators to create the experience together. A tour like this, I think, is good, but at the same time, people can come up with ideas to, like you, James-san. You know, people should make a prayer tour or something that the people can feel and think about this experience together. So I think it can be very impactful to have such experience. So, you know, we can go for hours and hours, but this is the experience. You know, this is the second main room, and there is a third room, and I'm gonna just kind of like skipping forward. But this is the main room where they have they did a wonderful job putting 7 children stories and their artifacts. You know, this tricycle is one of the most famous, most treasured object in Shinchan's son Rinsha. So Shinchan was a 3-year-old boy, got killed, and his parents buried Shinchan in the backyard of their house and buried the tricycle with him. And but they dug it after 40 years. They dug it out to do a proper service for Shinchan, and also they dug out and there was a tricycle, and they gave it to the museum. So this also keep telling us stories of Shinchan and all the children who got killed. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, the tricycle
Yes.
is also magazine name for the Buddhist. Something.
Sanrin ですね. Yes.
So maybe
Yes.
tricycle related to, yeah.
Very meaningful. Very meaningful.
But, sorry about the time, and
Yes.
we're starting and everything, but then we enjoy it. And then I think on Nagasaki Day, the August 8th, maybe we will continue this tour.
We could do a longer version.
Of the half an hour next time. I guarantee half an hour, starting from 8 o'clock.
Oh,
8:30.
anytime. Yes.
Yeah, this 8th of the Nagasaki Day part. So
that's right.
Please, join us.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you, James-san.
And I hope you, all people who are here, enjoy too. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And I think things that we have is all wonderful. So all of the speakers, all the projects should be, a couple more hours to listen to it. But then, still, it's a very important item to even recognize. And so, better than nothing, right? We have something that people all offer. So that's the great part of all the people. And then today, this is a conclusion peace prayer, but yet this prayer is a little bit different. Am I in a, okay. So how is it different? We're going to probably ask you all to stand up. And this time of the peace, message, but I mean a peace prayer. But at the same time, this peace prayer is slightly different, as I said, because you can just do prayer too. But also, one of the reasons I'm here, I don't know, some of you probably know, I'm here because I enjoy the Beatles. I respect, and then New York is one of the places to do. So we're gonna finish singing. This is a prayer for Imagine prayer. And so we normally, sometimes we go to the peace walk and to go to the, Central Park. And so that's what we're going to do. And then I don't think you know the lyrics then. For your case, I just made a little background so you can see the word of the Imagine. So, but at the same time, we don't want, so, disappear? So I'm disappear now. So, and then the Anthony, who will be playing the harmonica for us. And so he has been very active peacemaker and then director of the movies and so forth. So just guide. Okay.
Thank you.
No block can't block.
Yes.
This
okay.
block.
I'm so honored to have the mayor of Nagasaki and the president of the Hibakusha here. Our government needs to hear your voice. Your government needs to hear your voice. And your government needs to speak to our government. So thank you so much. John Lennon left us here in New York 42 years ago, but we know he was anti-military, anti-nuke, and he was pro-community. So let's sing his song. He left us 42 years ago, but let's bring him here with us today, with you. I just lead a little bit and you just sing.
Make sure wear the mask when you sing.
Oh, I'm not going to sing. You're singing.
No. Here is okay, but all of the people who might join together singing, just keep wearing the mask. Otherwise, song, okay?
You can go and you can start singing now. All of you. You want to sing?
Imagine if you try, no hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the living for today. Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religions do. Imagine all the people living in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, I hope someday you join us, and the world will leave us more.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So, thank you so much, and then this is it. And then all thank you is everyone who are joining us, all the speakers and then all the guests and religious leaders. And you can see all the program. And at the same time, we have a lot of volunteer people, New York the volunteer origami for the parts. And then so please, and also please, but see the sorry. And then I thank you very much for joining today, and then peace to you all. And then I hope we have so many peace events going on. I hope you can, enjoy as much as you can. So thank you again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.